Hey YouTube, we are back with another update on this Ford Ranger project. Since last update video, I've done a significant amount to this truck to really try to get it dialed in. I did get it running the last update video, and if you're familiar with doing stuff like this, that's definitely only half the battle. There was quite a lot of things I had to unfortunately do. So first and foremost, I did have to take the entire front end apart again because my driver's side axle seal was leaking. I'll play a clip on that right now, and I'll also briefly talk about the drive shaft. So here's just what we got going on here, I guess. I remember last update video I said I was putting this drive shaft on, and I put it on, and the yoke, the first clutch dump, the yoke just sheared off. There was actually a crack when I was putting the U-joint on because the previous owner actually put on the wrong U-joint, so it actually cracked one ear up here. I did weld it up. I actually, for whatever reason, I'm still new at this. I didn't know that this was cast, so I didn't do any prep at all. The weld doesn't look that bad. It actually broke above the weld too. The crack was around here, and then obviously it sheared there. But the way I welded it, no prep, I made it very brittle, and of course the first clutch dump just came apart. Did find what shaft this was actually from. It's from a 1980s Chevy S10. It's just been shortened a little bit at this area because the one at the junkyard, this shaft part, the stock one, is actually a little bit longer, as you can see. But I just needed the yoke, slid that on. I'm actually running Ford U-joints in this too. It has some weird stupid Chevy one that wouldn't have worked with my yokes, and I'm not spending any more money on this shaft. We're just gonna see if it works. To get these to work, I actually did have to grind the internal snap rings just a little bit to make them a little thinner. They are retained. I even tested it with like the press to try to press them out. They're not going to come out, so they are retained. The joints do move, and the cap sizes versus the Chevy and this one were identical, so I think it will work. We'll see. We'll send it, and if it doesn't work, we'll get a real custom one. Then I was also working on the interior a little bit here, just putting that little seat back in. Do gotta clean a little bit up here too. I'm gonna try to assemble this again for as best as I can do. But the main thing that we were doing here was front end is apart again, unfortunately, because there was a axle seal leak on the driver's side. You could see right there all that fluid. Normally normally I don't really care about leaks, but this was literally leaving puddles, so I had to come apart. Everything's apart enough to do the job. I'm just waiting on the seal to come in now. So there's that, and so let's just go back to done, I guess. Snap the fingers. So that was just when I was doing it. That wasn't fun doing that again. The people I actually bought the axle seal from too sent me some completely wrong one. It was from eBay too, and they weren't willing to work with you at all with getting your money back. I'll never order from an eBay store again after that experience. So I did just throw in the old one that I first got, that came with this axle. I mean, it's not leaking anymore, so that's good. I did throw that drive shaft on with the new yoke that I just explained as well. Here it is. I did some nice healthy clutch dumps when the hubs were locked and everything, in 4-low and granny gear on concrete. Nothing broke, so that's a pretty good test. And then I also it was also spinning, actually driving it as well. I'll insert a clip right here. Very unbalanced, unfortunately. So honestly, I'm not gonna spend any more money on it. I really, it's really cobbled together. So I'm actually just gonna take the time now and just get a real one. It has proven itself to actually hold up though, so I will just keep it as a trail only spare, you know, carry that around. But I definitely want to get something a little bit better than that. I could also show you here, just a nice cold start if you want. It's completely cold right now. Let's turn this on. Starts right up every time now. Drives very, very nicely. Guess I'll insert another clip here of me driving it. I'll insert 2 clips, I guess. Second drive. Mine was a little bit more consistent this time, so I can actually use, you know, one hand on the wheel, but it's still pretty gross. Oh man, oh, got a car coming. I mean, it's doing pretty good though. I mean, I'm not going very fast because I don't want to go very fast while I'm holding the camera, but I mean, here we go. Pretty rough. Here we go again. Still pretty sketchy, but got a few more things worked out, that's for sure. Not as hard to control now that those jam nuts are actually tight. So there was just those little clips, I guess. I have driven it a lot more than just those clips, obviously, but you know, I haven't really filmed much more of that. We'll see more in the future. I was, unfortunately, working on another issue. I think it is finally solved, though. This valve cover was leaking, and it wasn't only just leaking, it was pouring oil. I drove it like 2 miles, and I lost a quart of oil in that time. It was getting oil everywhere. You can see my spark plug wires are a little burnt up still because it was leaking oil. I tried quart gasket, I tried RTV, and then I eventually just got a Velcro rubberized steel core gasket, and it was still leaking after all that. I also did get another cover too, and I was really careful on the tightness. You know, everyone's saying, oh, you don't want to over tighten these or whatever. And you know, I tightened these knob things as tight as I could get by hand, and it still leaked. And I was working out that issue for a while, and I was really getting frustrated because no matter what I did, you know, it wasn't fixing it. So I just took a wrench to these knob things. You could see the nut right there. I just went full send with it. I was like, okay, it's not working anyways, might as well just hammer down, and if it warps the cover, it warps the cover. And it's sealed now. It doesn't seem to be leaking anymore. I've driven it 3 times since then. It hasn't lost any oil. In the dipstick, there's no smoke anymore. It's not leaving puddles of oil everywhere. So yeah, I've got new spark plug wires in the house, but I just don't want to put them on yet because I want to be absolutely sure I'm not going to ruin them. So there's that. Runs great. The motor mounts did not break, and I have really done things with this that you know, it would have stressed them out. I really am not a manual. I've never really driven a manual much. You know, I have like maybe 7 years ago my grandpa's truck, but you know, other than that, this is pretty new to me. So I was driving it like it would have broken them out, but it has not. Other than that, it's running real good. Still got a few more issues to, you know, work out. I'm gonna get an alignment on this professional one soon. I'm gonna get a custom drive shaft for it. I'm about to measure for it, and then we're gonna also I'm gonna be swapping out the front springs. Those ones came with the axle when I bought it as well. It was under someone's 79 F-150, and they're far too stiff for this truck for sure. I should have known, but it is what it is. I'm gonna get some early Bronco ones, throw them under here. But other than that, I mean, expect to see this in action pretty soon. It's almost ready at that point, and stay tuned, I guess, and peace out.